What's up, everybody? As you can see from the title of this video, I have some bad news. My PlayStation 3 is no more. It ceases to be. I am a little bit saddened by this, of course. I've spent a lot of time with this system over the past 3 years. And I did want to bring you a review of Final Fantasy XIII, but at this point, I'm going to have to work on getting a new system. I'll give you some basic impressions of the game, how I feel about it, but at this point, I can't play any more PlayStation 3 games for the moment. And it sucks because, as you saw in my previous video, I just picked up God of War 3. Let me tell you what happened. Last week, after Final Fantasy came out, I played that Tuesday and that Wednesday. I put about 15 hours into the game. This was the day before GDC started, on Wednesday. I was, again, about 15 hours in. I think I was on maybe chapter 6 or 7. I was on a boss fight. And all of a sudden, the sound cut out. But I was still actually playing the game. I was still in battle. Now, you don't usually notice this because there's usually always the music playing during battle, but all I heard was the effects of the attacks and the kind of the grunts of battle. Without the music, it was kind of hard to actually to play. So I ended up losing the battle. My character died, but nothing on the screen changed. All I saw was my character down on the ground, and the game was still running. So I was like, alright, maybe it just crashed, something happened, so I tried to eject the game. My blue light flashes, like it was ejecting the disc, but the disc does not come out. So I press the power button, I hold it down to try and turn off the system. Doesn't happen. So I'm then going to the back of the system, turning it off, turning it back on. As soon as I do that, I get back to the XMB, and I see the icon for Final Fantasy XIII. I press the X button to launch the game again, to try and get back into the game. And what happens? It turns black, and then all of a sudden it goes back to the XMB, and a message pops up on the screen. It says, an error occurred during the start operation. Error code 80010514. This is the first time I've ever seen this. And I have experience with troubleshooting electronics, so the first thing I do is I put in a different game to see if it's an issue with the disc. And lo and behold, I try to start this game and I get the same error. So what it comes down to is basically the PlayStation 3 no longer reads Blu-ray discs. I can still play DVDs. I can still play PlayStation 2 games if I want, CDs, PlayStation 1, but it will no longer properly play Blu-ray movies or games. At some points, I can actually start the game, but every single time, maybe about 15 to 20 minutes in, the sound will cut out, the game will stop playing, and that's it. So it's done. As far as a PlayStation 3 without Blu-ray capabilities, it's just a PlayStation 2. So that's that. I am going to work on, like I said, getting a new system back here. There's the trouble of, making sure all my save data is intact. I don't want to lose any of that. There are ways to deal with it, but I will keep you updated on how that's going. Again, I was able to play about 15 hours of Final Fantasy. Overall, just a few short things about the game. The graphics are phenomenal. Again, I'm playing on the PlayStation 3. I've heard the Xbox 360 version is slightly less impressive graphics-wise. Really, this is overall kind of a tech demo for Square Enix's new game engine, developed specifically for this new universe, including Final Fantasy XIII and Versus 13, and maybe some other games or other properties that they might be coming out with in the near future. It's all about the new combat system, which is fairly fun. The issue is that this game takes a lot of time to build up to the point where you're actually able to get a hold of everything that the battle system has to offer. So it builds you up to the point where you're kind of learning step by step on each element of the combat system. So it starts off slow. It's going to take a little bit of patience. If you're not used to the story side of JRPGs, the plot development, the character development, the cutscenes, then you might get bored during the beginning of the game because it's mostly kind of X button to win. But the combat really picks up several hours into the game, and it's actually pretty cool. There's some new systems that they implemented. It's all in real time, in a sense. There's no random battles. All enemies are there. But it's all about the combat, because there really is no exploration in this game from what I've experienced so far. It's a strictly linear affair. You kind of move forward in a straight line. But it's fun. The combat is fun. It's really, that's what makes this game fun. But again, I wanted to give a full review, but I understand that the game opens up more about 25 hours into the game. So, you do need to spend a lot of time with the game before you're able to really experience everything that it has to offer. But 15 hours in, I was having a good time. Unfortunately, again, I am not able to continue my progress, and I am not going to pick it up for the 360, even though I have one. I'm not going to start over. I have my save game, and when I get another PlayStation 3, if I can make sure that I back up all my save information properly, then I'll be able to continue that game, which I will do at some point. But for now, I have my 360. I did pick up Metro 2033. I'm still playing that. I'll try and I'll try to put up a review on that. But that's really the news. Also, I went ahead and I did order Hauppauge HD PVR, which will allow me to capture game footage in HD from both the PS3 and the Xbox 360. So when I get the PS3, when I get another PS3, I'll be able to capture game footage for reviews. When I get the actual device, I'll start doing that for both systems. And so that's all the news that I have so far. Some good, some bad. But yeah, like I said, I'll keep you posted on the issue with the PlayStation 3. If you've experienced something similar, let me know about it. If you want to bring up any type of solutions that you may have, I've pretty much tried everything that I found around the internet, short of opening up my PlayStation and trying to mess around with the Blu-ray, either lens or drive, which more than likely this issue it has to do with, because again, it no longer reads Blu-rays, and I'm not one to go ahead and do something like that, because if you screw around with it and you mess something up, there's a good chance that if you damage it to the point where it's no longer repairable, then you're going to be stuck buying a new one. And I don't want to do that either. I want the same one. I have a 60 gigabyte model that I bought, like I said, about 3 years ago. This is when they first dropped the price to $500. And a lot of people consider it the best system out there because it has every single feature that the PlayStation 3 has ever offered. And it's something I want to hold on to. So that's about it for this video. When I get the system back and the whole PVR set up and running, I can put up a Final Fantasy XIII review at that time. I do want to spend more time with it before I give a full review. If you're still interested in the review at that point, great. Give it a watch if you haven't played it already, or if you have and you just want to hear my opinion on it. But I will come back with more reviews shortly and more news on my PlayStation 3 fiasco, and more. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.